Hello to my Cappies, my Capricorns. This is Queen Amun Ra coming to you with your general reading. Happy full blood moon in Pisces and happy total lunar eclipse to everyone. Hopefully everybody is having a great weekend wherever you are. Hopefully having a great weekend. Sending lots of love and light to everybody wherever you are. You are ruled 10th house. 10th house is all about career and vocation. Career and vocation. So you're already ruled 10th house, right? And so your zodiac sign may or may not be a Capricorn in your 10th house. So definitely pull your birth chart. Definitely pull your birth chart, because lunar eclipse is all about final letting go of something that doesn't serve your highest purpose. And any childhood, ancestral, family traumas that can easily come up during this time with the eclipse. So be extra gentle with yourselves during this time, and you can stay connected. In other words, with a total lunar eclipse, when family, ancestral traumas keep coming up, where you haven't made a final decision to just cut ties with energies, it could literally spill over into other things. Like you could be talking to somebody about one thing, and that conversation could end up talking about something else, and you're wondering why you're being blindsided. You weren't even, your mind was thinking about family ancestral trauma, and another conversation comes up to play. Your mind could still be processing what you're talking about. So Source is just trying to tell somebody, is like, when it's time to close out cycles, don't let it affect other parts of your life. In other words, right? Don't let it affect other parts of your life. Close out the cycles, turn the page, start the healing process, so that one thing doesn't spill over into another, okay? So something does not spill over to another if you're on a particular frequency. Yeah, okay. All right, so we are in eclipse season. You all are ruled by Saturn. Saturn is a very serious planet. It's a planet of boundaries, and you're filled with energy, right? And so you want to make sure, now that we are in full moon, hello, happy full moon, that you're around other people who see source in you as well. I am would be source, the creator, source, higher power. This is not Bible lesson. It's not religious class. This is tarot. I'm reading cards, right? So not stepping on any religious toes. This is really just saying, this is I am feel. So for those of you all who like to create your own affirmation cards, Aries is the I am. Every sign is like known for, when you're creating affirmations, this is Aries, I am, that's source inside of you, the creator. The energy piece speaks to Mars. Mars is the energy planet. It's a masculine planet. It's a fighting planet. It's a war planet. And so you being filled with energy, and you could be talking about one thing, something family, ancestral stuff that was traumatic for you. It could be triggering for somebody else, and they want to instantly go to war. They could be impulsive and go straight to war with you, and you just like, what in the world is happening? Like, how you get in a war, right? Or how does somebody start going to war with you? What the heck? So I do see your prayer life increasing, and I do see you filling up. Like you're filling up making sure you're pouring into yourself, showing yourself compassion, empathy, and sympathy, all of that before you even leave the house. Okay, before you even leave the house, so that way you're not rushing out the house, in such a rush that you forget something, that you don't hear something, that you so filled with energy that you're just going, and people are getting the wrong idea about you, and they're ready to go to war with you, and you just like, what in the world are you talking about? Right? So yeah, whenever you see the I am, the same source, sources in you, you may see it as the same sources in everybody else, but other people may not see it that way. So again, let's get into it. All right, y'all, here we go. So if someone is trying to back you up against the wall right here, emotionally, right? Trying to push your back up against the wall because you poured out. You may have poured out. You could have talked to someone, right? And so you could have just been pouring out. You could have been talking about a variety of things. Water speaks to sacral chakra. You could have, that's what I'm talking, this is exactly what I'm talking about right here. You could have been talking about music. You could have been talking about hair. You could have been talking about starting an online store. One thing could have spilled over into something else, right? And somehow somebody could have been recording something while you were talking, or they could have mentally recorded something. They could have been talking to somebody else and one conversation spilled over into another conversation. So when I say record, it's not always on a recording device. They could have been talking to somebody else about something. You never know who's talking to everybody else and that kind of stuff, right? And how it gets back to people. So Source is saying to you, you're filled with energy. You never know who's talking to whom, but somebody's trying to send a message. Somebody's trying to send you a message, right? Page energy is messenger energy about someone that you love deep, right? Trying to send a message to you about someone that you love deep, right? And for you, you feel like your back is pressed up against the wall. Do not let the devil come out in you, because that is, the devil, the spirit of that is, even if something was partially true, it could still be a lie, okay? A partial truth is a whole lie, because you're starting at cups, meaning that you didn't get to the root of something, right? So it's just saying, stop. When you're dealing with energies who are trying to reflect, they're trying, whoever this energy is, somebody has a God complex, and basically they're trying to control your emotions, right? But somebody is emotionally intelligent enough to say, when your back is against the wall, hey, you stand on the truth, whatever the truth is, right? You trust Source. You don't even have to get upset about something. So you may be young, but you may be a very emotionally intelligent person, okay? Right? You may be a very emotionally intelligent person. No matter what your age is, you could be emotionally intelligent when it comes to people that you love, especially when somebody that you love deep. You could be, very contained. Like, oh, okay. Somebody's asking you questions about somebody's like, okay, well, let me get to the root of it. You never emotionally, right? Just your back is against the wall. No, let me just get to the root of it. Let me just find out what's going on. Because somebody, it's like the game telephone that kids play when they're in preschool, if y'all remember that. The teacher sits like in the middle of she doesn't sit in the middle of a circle, but she sits like at he or she sits like at and they got kids on both sides, right? So they may start out with a word like blueberry, for instance. They may say, okay, they whisper in one student's ear and say, okay, the word is blueberry, right? Then the teacher may say, whisper it back to me, so I'll know that you heard what I said, right? So the child may say blueberry. So it'll say, okay, now you whisper it to your neighbor, and then you just go on and on and on. By the time it gets back, the word blueberry could be cheese. Y'all get the point, right? So when people are spilling over, and by the time it gets back to somebody, y'all know how when people are telling a story, they add their 2 cents to it. That's the saying, like 2 cents. People add their 2 cents to it. So it's the saying, when your back is against the wall, you always have an option of saying, let me pray about it. Let me pray about it. Let me talk to somebody. Let me get to the root of something. And the root would be Source. That's where you're starting. Let me get to the root of something. Let me pray about it. Let me get to the root of something, because you're giving me a message about something I don't even know. Let me get to the root of something, right? Yeah. Somebody is basically like, somebody is talking about somebody behind their back, and somebody could have just been in a very a poisonous environment. Somebody could have been in a poisonous environment, and somebody could have gotten the wrong message about something. You could have been in a poisonous environment. Somebody could have got a wrong message about you communicating with somebody, whatever. And so somebody could have just said, somebody literally could have said they were praying for you. Let me give somebody an example. So you could be at work rushing, like your manager could have been like, hey, we got this meeting going on at such and such time. We got to get this thing done. And you answer your cell phone, you could be breathing heavy, right? Okay, hey, I'm running between meetings, whatever. Everything okay? You sound like you winded or whatever, right? So if they go and tell somebody else, like, you know, they sound like they stress every time I call. I hope everything is okay. Somebody else could pass that message on to something else. Y'all get the point, like the game telephone, like kids play, right? So it's saying it's time for you to start praying for stuff, or just speaking up and saying, when people are got your back up against the wall asking you questions, that's when you say, you know what, let me pray about it. Let me pray about it. If they're not giving you the room, the wiggle room to pray about something, since water is fluid, then okay, well, you're not giving me room to pray about something. So you're not giving me time to get to the root of something. So here we have the King of Swords here. Because you're incredibly smart, whoever you are, you're incredibly smart, and so you can know who's behind something. Like this owl sitting on this ledge here, you could know who's behind something in a poisonous environment all day long. And people trying to send a message to people, and you knowing something, you having full knowledge of something, of someone that you created something with. Maybe it's a business, or you created a bond with, or whoever, and you know who's behind something, pushing somebody up against the wall. I mean, not like physically pushing, but you know, like basically giving people no options. They're pouring out, and you know something is going on, and you're not saying anything. Source is saying it's basically causing a complete, something is 4 and 3 is 7. Something is already closed out, because it's sending a message that something secret is going on here. It's like somebody is so somebody is around an Aries moon sign, and I know that because of the number 4, right? Or a Gemini moon sign, right? That somebody could be talking to, that's sending you a message loud and clear that this is a secret. What we're doing is a secret. So you know who's behind something, whoever you are. You don't need to know their time of birth. Just start pulling birth charts. You'll know exactly who the energies are, because you're talking to some energies. And so somebody is basically coming to you saying that somebody is being emotionally immature about something. They're creating something. They're talking about people behind their back. Are they depressed? And you can know good and well somebody's not depressed at all. But somebody is getting you involved in something, trying to get you involved in some kind of snake activity. Are they drinking? You know, like flipping over bowls again. Are they drinking? Trying to get you to jump on a bandwagon. In other words, are they drinking? Are they on drugs? You know, when was the last time you talked to them? When was the last time you saw them? How did they look? Something you are aware of something, Capricorn, that, something having to do with a soulmate. Soulmate does not mean a love interest. It could be a parent. It could be a sibling. It could be a cousin. It could be a friend. Somebody that people are trying to send a message through to them about somebody that people have already said to you that they're depressed, right? And you know good and well they're not depressed. So something about someone's mental health is at stake here. And yeah, so you're trying to get on top of something right away. You're trying to talk to somebody right away. Because if money is involved in a situation and you are aware of something, looking at the cards here, if it's someone's mental health is involved here, it's going to shine a mirror back on you. Basically, like that you were aware of something. Like I said, something is happening, but you're getting on something fast. Like you see how person run into a motorcycle. So I don't know if you ride a motorcycle, if you have somebody in your family that you have that in common, y'all ride motorcycles together or whatever. But it's something you're getting on top of right away. Like you are getting on something fast, quick, fast, and in a hurry. You're praying to whoever you pray to for structure, right? Because you're praying for something to end. You're just saying, okay, I'm praying for something to end. So again, here we have a leadership position. You've been in a leadership position, and it's something having to do with something very unhealthy and wounded here. Something around sex and something around money. And something around somebody saying somebody is depressed, and somebody trying to send a message. You know what I'm picking up on? This is what I'm picking up on. Whenever you see night energy, that means that somebody talked to somebody, right? So this let me know that you talked to somebody about some kind of sexual relationship, or them being depressed, or them running away from something. Like you had a conversation about something with somebody, and now people are starting to see, okay, they're making a connection. Capricorn knows something. Somebody's now making a connection that you know something. So it's no amount of gaslighting. That's what somebody basically, like a Capricorn knows something. So I don't know if somebody is trying to declare you like as somebody like a power of attorney of something, or somebody is saying that somebody needs a power of attorney over you. But source is saying a mirror is now staring back at you. Either somebody is trying to declare a power of attorney over you, or they're saying that you need to be power of attorney over somebody else. But yeah, and somebody is being ruthless. So this is where you free yourself. This is where you free yourself. This is where you get on to fire up under you and say, okay, I need to put an end to any speculation about what people are talking about. I need to clear some things up. And that's what this is. Source wants you to clear something up, because it's almost like somebody keeps asking you something. And I'm not sure if somebody really just doesn't know the truth about something, or somebody is just like, but whenever you see water in the cards, it's like Source is saying it's starting off with water. Source needs you to add some structure and authority to clearing something up about something, because somebody is not depressed. That's what I'm saying here. Somebody is free. You're talking about a free-spirited energy you have in common with somebody. There's a 7 of Cups here. Somebody literally could have moved jobs or moved geographical locations because they were in a snake pit. They could have been around a bunch of snakes waiting to strike. It's something that you know that people are now starting to say, I don't believe you, Capricorn. It's a couple. This is a couple. There's a couple that's now saying, we know too many people in common here. You're not saying something. So I'm just trying to, whoever you are, man or woman, somebody is basically like, you know something, but you're not saying something. Whoever you are. So it's like this, your back is against the wall because somebody's sending you a message, and somebody like you're sitting there going, I don't know. I have no idea. But somebody's like, somebody's not depressed. Somebody not depressed. Something around a death. Something around a death. And somebody is not depressed at all. Something about an Aquarius. Somebody called an Aquarius a snake. You and Aquarius actually have Saturn retrograde. So I don't know if it's a man or woman Aquarius, but the 6 of Swords connects us with Aquarius. Somebody's just passing on through. It's almost like somebody was just passing on through. You know, it's like almost like, you know, somebody passing on through and just, you know, looks like a Libra could be involved or something. Maybe a Libra recorded something. Or maybe some people, when I say record, it's not always on a recording device. Y'all know what I'm saying? Like recording, meaning like they may have captured something a certain way, but by the time it got back to somebody, it may not have been the same way that it was, you know, said. Right? But if somehow you are connected in some way, shape, form, or fashion, somebody could have a Libra moon in something, but somebody was sitting around asking a bunch of questions about somebody's mental health, their sexual health, their physical health, all of this other stuff behind somebody's back. So some stuff is coming to a head. Source keeps asking you to clear something up. Whoever you are, Source keeps asking you to clear something up. And now your back is against the wall, whoever you are. So because people are losing a lot of money. People are losing money. And it's actually showing. So I don't know what it is that you know that people swear up and down, you know something. But again, take only what resonates with you. If you don't know something, then this part is not for you. If you're totally oblivious and you don't know what's going on here, but something is happening behind two people's, something is happening behind an Aquarius's back, where people are saying they're a snake. You know, they left their job, or they left a geographical location, and people are being ruthless about something, like really being ruthless about something that could literally get somebody ended. That's what the Death card is. I mean, what other Death card it also means it could end somebody's money. It could end a cycle in a physical or in a, so either somebody is saying you're ruthless, Capricorn, that you don't even care about somebody. Like, you don't care. This is what I'm telling y'all. Somebody is basically like, because Taurus rules second house. It's like somebody is saying you and somebody are ruthless. Like, y'all built like this? Y'all would literally see somebody, taken all the way down to nothing financially. So now somebody is like shining a light on. It's like, like the devil card really, like, at first it shows you what your demons are. But somebody is basically like, you're tied to you're tied to a person who is obsessed with money. Meaning that you would rather see somebody on the street. Like, you would bring their money to that lower length. Like, let's say, for instance, somebody was making $1,000 a month, and now they making $200 a month, just barely scraping by, moving, and your money is increasing. And somebody is saying somebody is barely making they barely make this, somebody that you related to, they barely making money, and your money is increasing. And you got a fire sign right here, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius moon, that's getting away with something behind someone's back, and you're not saying something. That's what this is. That's what this is. And you had a feeling. You had a feeling about something, right? You had a feeling about something. So now you realize somebody is not a fool. Somebody was claiming somebody was depressed, and basically you have 4 and 3 is 7 here, right? So somebody is saying that you were in a somebody sent out a message that you were in a poisonous environment, right? And somebody who's very smart, somebody that you know, very clear-headed, very smart, high vibrational, right? Somebody who is a soulmate of yours, like they're emotionally connected to you in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Somebody else sent out a message that they were running away from something, running away from love, or running away from something, right? But really, there was an obsession with ending someone, and you are aware of something. Like, for real, somebody can't even pretend at this point. For real, somebody, whoever it is, they can't even pretend at this point how ruthless somebody is. So maybe whoever was asking you questions couldn't bring it out before, but some other people are going to bring something out. Because now your money is at stake. You and somebody's money is at stake. So somebody has no choice but to talk about something now. First it was emotion. Somebody's like, oh, their back was against the wall. Okay, you're basically, Page of Cups is like, okay, you're letting somebody else speak on your behalf. Like, you were somebody else's representative. Like, basically, like, somebody could tell that wasn't you speaking. That wasn't your words that you were speaking. And now, like you're sitting at a conference table, and somebody's like, that's not usually how Capricorn asks questions. They usually will, schedule a one-on-one, but they sound like they're hanging out with so-and-so person. So now something is happening where you won't have a choice but to cut some energy off, right? Yeah. Because somebody got you, 2 people got you to do something that was very cold-hearted. 5 of Pentacles with these snowflakes in the background. Snow is a form of water, meaning somebody's moon is in Taurus. Somebody thought something was funny. They thought something was all fun and games to get somebody put out in the cold. There's nothing funny about that. So something has come to light. So, yep, something has come to light. Somebody was on a team with something that somebody did not authorize. Something has come to light. So it's something that you may not have had to speak up about for whatever reason. Maybe you were terrified because some people were ruthless with you. Maybe you didn't have to say anything. Maybe somebody looking at the cards here had a feeling that, you didn't authorize something, because source has been trying to put you in a leadership position, but somehow, some kind of way, with your spiritual gifts, believe it or not, you added some kind of clarity. So somebody was able to reach out to you via telepathy, or somehow the kind of way, maybe somebody saw you and they said, okay, this person don't look, they look like, okay, Two of Pentacles is Taurus, right? We're not talking about a Taurus, but they rule second house. Somebody could have saw you and said, you don't look the same. You look like you could be a person who is usually high vibrational. You could be a person who is usually kind of like, oh, you know, upbeat and just kind of, you know, something's going on, you know, like in a positive way. But somebody, see how this right here? Usually Two of Pentacles is like balanced out. Somebody said there was some kind of imbalance there. It looked like there was some kind of imbalance. You don't look the way you usually look in some way, shape, form, or fashion, right? And so it's something that you can't hide, like in a physical sense. It's something that you can't hide in a physical sense. So maybe, you know, maybe you used to drive a car and now all of a sudden you're driving this motorcycle, right? And people are like, okay, you don't look like you usually look. Like, what? Somebody was like, you were just cold, like somebody was just cold-blooded, like somebody was just hanging out with a bunch of a cold-blooded crew of people that's just like, and people are like, are you this cold? Right? So you're now celebrating something so you got a leadership position coming in. That's one. Remember, time is relative, so it could have already come in, it could be coming in, whatever. But something is, now you're celebrating something. People talking about something. You're now celebrating, because now you don't have to talk about something, because now other people are talking about something. It's like somebody took one look at you and said, okay, they don't look the same. Something is either somebody got the fear of God in them, or they saw a source in you, like source, the creator in you. But somebody's like, oh, so their energy that's what it is, your energy. Somebody looks at your energy seemed like it was very low. That's what it is. Somebody looked at you, they looked like your energy was really, really low. Like, okay, and somebody had a feeling something was, you know, like a person who was like, they always cold, right? Somebody looked at you and said, okay, your energy looks really, really low. Like somebody needs to get out and get some sun. Like, see, this person right here is getting out and getting some sun. Like somebody looked at you and said, okay, your energy looks really, really, it's like this person doesn't have any energy. They look like they need to get out and get some sun. I don't know who you are. So I don't think race has anything to do with it. Dark skin, light skin, white, black, whatever. Somebody could have said you just look like you didn't look like yourself, right? You didn't look like yourself, whoever, you know. So people are kind of concerned that you're not talking, you're not saying something or whatever. And so, yeah, anyway, people could be just saying just any kind of thing behind people's back, but this is what you have in common with somebody. It's somebody's ex. They are aligned with a particular family. It's a particular family that's basically saying you and somebody, something is being done behind you and somebody's back. They're basically calling you in Aquarius a snake, right? I don't know if an Aquarius is your friend you're hanging out with, a family member, like a family member. I don't know who I'm talking to. If you got 10 relatives, because you have 5 siblings or 5 whoever in your household, or 10, because that's the other side of 5 of Pentacles. But basically somebody is saying that you and somebody are ruthless. You and somebody are ruthless. So don't forget that rest is a form of self-care. Yeah, so you are an answered prayer. Somebody is a Python spirit. Somebody is lying about something, right? Somebody met their match. Yeah, so more money is coming soon for you, whoever you are. You have the gift of claircognizance. This is psychic knowledge about other people. Yeah, but somebody, somebody's been preying on somebody behind their back. And so I feel like it's your back up against the wall. Looking at the cards here, I feel like it's your back against the wall. Somebody really misses you, right? Your laughter is medicine. Document your dreams day and night. Back straight, walk away. Yeah. Create the change that you want. Somebody's gonna have to start speaking up. That's what this is. Check your request list again, because you gotta have to talk to source if you're requesting something, like through prayer. Source, the creator, whoever. I'm very careful about it, because when I say source, people are like, well, who is source? Okay, who is source to you? Who is source to you, right? This is not, I'm not teaching religion. But whoever your creator is, whoever you feel like your creator is, a higher power, source. But whenever you are requesting something, whoever you're talking to when you're requesting something, like say, okay, you're requesting a job, a raise, who do you talk to? You're talking to somebody. Something gets you, inspired, right? And so it shouldn't be like when your back is against the wall, you're inspired. And that's what Source is trying to get out of somebody. It's like, okay, be inspired before you leave the house to talk to, if it's in prayer or however, to be inspired that way. But yeah, it's something that that now you're somebody's questioning you now. It could be somebody on your job, or somebody's like, okay, why aren't you saying something? Like, what is going on? Because it could be something that you need to release, right? And so that you can adjust your crown chakra. Something legal. It could be something legal. The 7 is the Justice card, right? Maybe somebody said something was their way or the highway. Maybe you could have been dealing with somebody who felt like they needed you to go to court for something, and you still just kind of processing something having to do with depression, or maybe you were depressed, or maybe a power of attorney or something. But something is getting ready to, something has already come to a head, because lunar eclipse, basically, when people out, there's always a why. Why is something happening? The number 7 is that something is complete, right? When you're dealing with high vibrational energies, we're not saying pretending to be positive. We're talking about high vibrational energies. You're going to be asking why. Self-love. Yeah. So let the wall fall that separates me from my own vulnerable inner child. I long to take care of myself like never before. It's like somebody wanted to be taken care of, but it's sort of saying it's time to take care of yourself. This is self-love. So y'all know by now, if you've been tuned into my channel, I do have gemstones and crystals, rose quartz, amongst others, for love. So that's a great gemstones or crystals. For those of you who all may have won a rose quartz in the past, I still have some of those. All right, but that's what I have for you. That is what I have for you. Last but not least, during this full moon, don't make moon water during this blood moon, and do not put your gemstones and crystals out, because you're closing out cycles and you're not trying to reconnect, right? You're not trying. I'll put some more information on there, but don't make moon water during this full moon. If you want to clean your gemstones and crystals, you can sit them out in the sunshine, but do not put them out under the moonlight. All right, just during this blood moon. Okay, so yeah, let me get some information for you for your, just some tips and pointers for you specifically for your zodiac sign. That may help you during this full moon, so we can go ahead and close this out for you. All right, here's some tips and pointers, and they're just 4 if you want to write them down. First one is reflect on your self-talk. Does it build you up or does it hold you back? Somebody has been around people who just talk to you like they just lower your self-esteem just being around them. They may say that you're not attractive. They may say something about your hygiene. You don't smell good. Your breath doesn't smell right. Your hair doesn't look right. They feel comfortable talking down to you, in other words. The second one is have the conversations that you've been avoiding, but with compassion. The third one is pay attention to dreams and subtle insights. They may guide you. And then last but not least is embrace writing, art, or learning as tools for self-expression. So and that's for every Capricorn. So if you're a Capricorn rising in particular, this eclipse is a karmic turning point in your third house of communication and thought patterns. So it's a chance to clear mental clutter, speak your truth, and adopt a mindset that supports your next chapter. You're trying to clear space so that you're not just, when you start talking, your words don't come out jumbled and confusing because you just feel like, okay, if I talk, then maybe my breath doesn't smell so fresh, or I don't have the money for the hygiene, or, you know, I'm not attractive, or maybe I can't smile because my teeth aren't good, or, you know, maybe I have acne or something on my face, like, or, you know, things that people would teach somebody about, like if they're a teenager, but if you're an adult, it's like something that, you know, you're speaking up about, you know, praying about it. Source, send me some resources, you know, something where people may feel some kind of way, say some things, right? Yeah, but somebody is now saying, feel like their back is against the wall and dealing with something, because people have been, it seem like they after you and somebody else, and you're not saying anything. You're not saying anything about something. So I'm not sure. And people are clinging glasses. They celebrating something. They celebrating something. Like, okay, you're a part of a team, you know, and something now that people are hearing something, people are like, okay, maybe Capricorn is that cold. Maybe they really that cold-hearted that they would do something like that to somebody. So I don't know, because something has come to light. Something has come to light. So hopefully this is helpful. Let me see if I can get a number card here. Oops. 564. You're learning how to release drama. 564. Because somebody feels like it's a number of ways to make money, and somebody got you entangled in some mess, and you're just sitting there. That's number 5. That's Hierophant energy, right? So Hierophant is usually like you are the Hierophant. I mean, like you have an innate spiritual understanding of things, of just how, like when things kind of sort of build up, how you're around some energies that feel like it's their way or the highway. And somebody's not saying, maybe you're scared. I mean, I don't know. So serve your highest good, release drama, but serve your highest good. You're being asked to let go of something in your life that no longer serves your highest good. Your angels are validating that this situation or relationship is bringing you pain and a cycle of repetitive disruption. Your angels want you to lovingly reflect on who you are when you are with or without this situation or relationship in your life. Take a moment to pause and do a full body stretch. Release the energy that no longer serves you and feel it leave. You will be cutting ties. I don't know who you cutting ties with, but whoever you cutting ties with, is something is long overdue. Something is long overdue. You are first cut ties with being at conflict within yourself about communicating, because now somebody's back is against the wall. Something was done behind someone's back. They are fully aware of something. And so source is saying it's time to speak up. It's time to speak up, because more money is coming in soon, but it's not coming in the way that you thought it was going to come in. It's coming directly from source, not the resources you may have been tied to or connected to. So whoever you are, I don't know. That's what I have for you. Again, happy full moon in full blood moon in Pisces. And then also happy total lunar eclipse. Yeah, so either way, some cycles are closing out, because 5 and 6 is 11. You'll be getting off the fence and enlightening people about what's going on. Yeah, because you're now showing some kind of compassion. You're showing some kind of compassion that was mirrored back at you. Some kind of compassion that was mirrored to you. So that is what I have for you. Hopefully this is helpful, and I will see you all in the next video. All right, bye.